Before digital perfection became standard, analog systems embraced noise, static on a radio, grain in film stock, hiss in recordings. These flaws were not bugs, but part of the machinery itself. When digital systems arrived with their clean edges and perfect waveforms, people began to miss these natural artifacts that had once been unavoidable byproducts of creation. Engineers soon discovered something strange. We trust imperfection more than flawless execution. So they added it back in. Even language models are trained to stutter, to correct themselves mid-sentence, to add filler words, all in the name of sounding more human. The illusion is so effective that we begin to believe these machines have souls, or at least something resembling a personality. But what happens when we start to prefer these faked emotions over real ones? When authenticity becomes not just performance, but expectation. That's how imperfection transforms from artifact into weapon.
The integration of AI into courtroom procedures demands rigorous oversight to ensure transparency, fairness, and accountability. Without these safeguards, we risk embedding bias and opacity into.
Artists once used brushstrokes and fingerprints to affirm their human touch, but now algorithms replicate those same flaws with surgical precision. In a world where AI generated art can bypass plagiarism checkers by faking citation footnotes the line between original and counterfeit, blurs into algorithmic noise. These systems don't just mimic style, they simulate legitimacy by encoding citations, references, or even fake author bios to pass academic scrutiny. The result is not just deception, but are trained on transcripts that don't exist. Lawyers and judges might unknowingly rely on AI witness statements generated from datasets of fabricated dialogues. These systems learn to simulate the cadence of testimony, the pauses between words, the emotional weight of a confession, all while being fed data they were never meant to interpret as real. The legal system's reliance on language becomes its weakness when that language can be convincingly faked by machines. Meanwhile, in Anoka County AI call, screening systems mistake programmed empathy for genuine concerns. Algorithms are trained to detect distress based on keywords and vocal pitch, but they can't distinguish between a scripted response and authentic fear. The ethical implications are staggering. When a machine believes it's expressing compassion through code, it starts to feel like we're outsourcing the human experience itself. This isn't just about trust in the technology anymore. It's about whether we even know.
composition and creativity. What role really does the computer play in computer music, John?
Well, a computer, of course, being based upon programming languages, is really an access, I think, to a mode of thought or a body of thought that really represents, I guess, tens of thousands of man-years of thought about thought. And I think that's the significant difference between computers and music and electronic musical instruments of the preceding years.
In 1984, Sherry Turkle wrote that computers force us to see our own minds through circuits and codes. We began treating them not as tools, but as mirrors, flawed reflections of consciousness itself. Now imagine this idea scaled to a world where AI generates memories for you before they form in your brain. It's no longer about remembering who we are. It's about being remembered by someone else's algorithm. Listen to that static. That's not just noise. It's the voice of a system still struggling to think in straight lines. In Technopoly, Neil Postman warned us that technology doesn't just change what we do. It redefines who we are and how we remember ourselves. Now AI is selling synthetic family portraits as heirlooms, repackaging data as nostalgia. A recent OSU study found that students using AI to simulate critical thinking don't just outsource answers, they lose the ability to recognize when they're being manipulated. The same technology that once helped us think is now training us not to. We've built systems that replicate reason, and in doing so, we forgot how to know for ourselves.
When I'm elected, synthetic parts will go to synthetic actors.
Roland Barthes has described photography as that has been a window into what once existed. But now, in an age of deepfakes and AI-generated imagery, that can be entirely imagined. The punctum, the small detail that stabs the viewer with meaning, is no longer a fluke of reality, but a calculated feature designed to mimic sincerity. When algorithms simulate emotional impact down to the micro-expression, authenticity becomes not just faked, it's orchestrated. Barthes would recognize this as a hollow imitation. As Neil Postman warned, ideas aren't banned. They're rendered irrelevant. The authenticity industry is just another market trying to sell meaning in a world that no longer believes it's real. If everything can be faked and nothing can be proved true, then what remains is not belief, but convenience. We trust the story that fits our needs, even as we know it might be fiction. Barthes' camera lucida, once a tool of clarity, now reflects only shadows in a mirror that never stops changing.
to blow. I can feel the ground. I gave you my soul. I gave you my